think saving for a home means giving up everything fun in life, you're doing it wrong. Let me show you how to save smart without sacrificing everything you love. Owning a home is one of the biggest financial goals for many people, but the problem, actually saving enough to make it happen. For most of us, rent, bills, and life eat up our paychecks even before we even think about saving. Then a year passes, we check our savings account and we're like, wow, that's depressing. In this video, I'll show you what lenders look at before giving you a mortgage, because if they don't approve you, saving is pointless. How much money you actually need. Hint, 20% down payment isn't always required. The best way is to save faster without feeling miserable. And at the end, I'll share a banking trick that can help you qualify for a bigger loan even if your income isn't huge. So grab a snack, take notes, and let's do this. Think of a mortgage as a giant trust test. When you go to a bank and ask for a loan, they don't just say, sure, here's a few $100,000, enjoy. No, they study your financial life to make sure you can afford the payments, you're responsible enough to actually pay them. You won't go broke and stop paying after 6 months. To do that, they check 4 major things. Number 1, your credit score. Credit score is basically a trust meter. The higher it is, the more banks trust you, and the lower your interest rate will be. And I gotta tell you, that adds up. If you're borrowing $300,000 for a house, someone with a 740 score might have a mortgage payment that's a couple $100 cheaper per month than someone with a 680 score. Over time, that difference can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. If you want to fix it, pay down credit card debt, never miss a bill, and avoid maxing out your credit limits. A few months of good behavior can bump up your score fast. 2, your income. Can you actually afford this? Banks don't just look at how much money you make, they look at how stable your income is. If you have a regular salary job, great. They'll ask for pay stubs and tax returns to prove your income is steady. If you're self-employed, you might be deducted as much as possible on your taxes to lower your tax bill, but the problem is, banks don't look at your gross income, they look at your net income, the number after deductions. If your tax return says you only made $30,000 because you wrote off everything under the sun, that's what the banks will use. So if you're planning to buy a house in the next couple of years, be careful with tax deductions. 3, debt to income ratio. This is the biggest reason people get denied for a mortgage, even if they have savings. Banks won't let your total debt payments, including your mortgage, go over 44% of your income. Say you make $5,000 a month. If you have a car payment, student loans, and credit card payments that add up to $1,500 a month, the max mortgage payment you'll be able to get is about $700. 4, cash reserves. Can you handle a financial emergency? Most banks want you to have at least 2 months worth of mortgage payments saved up before they'll approve you. That means if your mortgage is going to be $1,500 a month, they want to see at least $3,000 sitting in your bank account. Some lenders require up to 6 months worth. If you don't have it, banks will worry you'll default on the loan if you lose your job or something unexpected happens. But here's the banking trick I mentioned earlier. Many lenders will count your retirement accounts as part of your cash reserves. They won't count the full amount, but typically 75% of your 401k or IRA can be used to meet this requirement. Now, let's clear up one of the biggest myths about home buying. You do not need 20% down to buy a house. There are different ways to approach a down payment, and some of them require a lot less cash than you might think. Here's how much money you actually need, depending on the type of loan you get. 20% down. This is the traditional way. If the home costs $300,000, you'll need $60,000 saved before you can buy. The upside? You don't have to pay something called PMI, which we'll talk about in a second. 5 to 10% down? Well, this is much more doable for most. For that same $300,000 house, a 10% down payment is $30K, and 5% is just $15K. You will have to pay PMI, but this option lets you buy sooner. 3.5% down. Also known as a FHA loan. If you qualify for an FHA loan, you could put down just $10,500 on a $300,000 house. This is great for first-time buyers who don't have a lot saved up. 0% down, also known as VA or USDA loans. If you're a veteran or buying in a rural area, you might not have to put down anything at all. So no, you don't need 20% down, but you do need to think about PMI. Now, PMI stands for Private Mortgage Insurance. It's an extra fee banks charge when you put down less than 20% on a home. Why? Because if you only put down 5 or 10%, the bank is taking on more risk. If you stop paying, they might lose out on money. So they charge you PMI as insurance for themselves. It's not the end of the world though, but it's money that's not going toward paying off your house. A lot of people start with a 5 to 10% down payment, then refinance in a few years to get rid of PMI once they've built up equity. Now, if you know how much you actually need, let's get into how to save for it without feeling like you have to give up everything you enjoy in life. First up, number 1, track your spending. Most people have no idea where their money actually goes. If I asked you right now how much you spent last month on food, subscriptions, or random Amazon purchases, would you actually know? Probably not. And that's the problem, because small expenses just add up fast. A $10 streaming service here, a $6 coffee there, a $15 impulse buy on Amazon. None of these feel like much on their own, but over the course of a year, they could be the difference between owning a home or staying stuck renting. If you want to save faster, start by tracking every single dollar you spend for 1 month. Write it down. Once you see where your money is going, it'll actually be way easier for you to cut back on things that don't really matter to you. 2, automate your savings. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to save whatever is left over at the end of the month. The problem is there's never anything left over. The fix: automate your savings. Set up a separate savings account and have money automatically transferred every paycheck before you even see it. For example, if you get paid every 2 weeks, set up an automatic transfer of $100 per paycheck into a high-yield savings account. After a year, that's $2,600 saved without even thinking about it. Even if you start small, the key here is consistency. 3, cut back but be smart about it. I'm not going to tell you to stop drinking coffee or never go out with mates. That's unrealistic. But what you should do is cut out the spending that's actually not making you happy. For example, if you love your morning coffee ritual, keep it, but maybe cut out the 5 random Uber Eats orders every week. If you love eating out with friends, keep it, but maybe cancel the 4 streaming services you actually never watch. If you love new clothes, keep them, but maybe stop with the random Amazon purchases just because something is on sale. 4, or just try to make more money. There's no limit on how much money you can make. Every extra dollar you can make speeds up the process of getting your new home. And if you would like to know more about how to make more money, check out this video. Saving for a house takes discipline, but it doesn't mean giving up everything fun in life. Now tell me, what's been your biggest challenge when it comes to saving for a house? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And if you're looking for an easy way to make extra cash on the side, check out Pawns.app. It's one of the simplest ways to earn extra income while you save. Get your first $3 in the link in the description. Make sure to subscribe for more smart money tips, and I'll see you on the next one.